should be live. Yep.
Yep.
Very cool.
And you should be able to hear us.
Okay.
Debbie Diver from your car.
Yeah, congratulations. Cool. Are you ready?
I am.
It's 2 o'clock. Let's see if that works. Hey, everyone. Let's go with it. And welcome to episode number 192 of What Does This Button Do? It's an educational show about smartphones and technology with us Geeks on Tour. Today's beginner's lesson is a hodgepodge of tech tips, and here's the first one. What do you have there, Chris?
Taking a picture of a QR code and scanning it later. I think we've done several topics on this, and most phones now can just open the camera and scan a QR code. But what if you don't want to scan it right now? Here's our tip. So it has to do about QR codes. QR codes, you know, are those funny looking square things. And we have done a couple of shows on them before, episode 146 and episode 102. Both of those taught about scanning QR codes immediately and about making your own QR codes. But what if you don't have time to scan and see the results right away? Here's my example. See that sign? Was a billboard at a Civil War park that we were at in Mississippi somewhere a while ago.
If you say so.
And if you look closely, there's a QR code on it. And it said, scan this QR code to watch a video of the reenactment of the war, of the battle that took place here at Railroad Redoubt. Well, I took instead of scanning it and watching the video while we're standing there in the hot sun, I just took a photo of that. And then using Google Photos, and that little button there with the 2 dots in the middle is called Lens. So let me show you how that works. So this works the same on an iPhone or an Android. This happens to be my Android, and because it's Google Photos, so Google Photos works the same. So I go to Google Photos, and I'll bet you I can find that picture by searching for QR code. All right. So here are all the pictures that came up with QR code, and there is that one of the Civil War battlefield with that QR code right here. So the button I'm talking about is this 3rd button on the bottom, and it's called Google Lens. I tap it, and it just starts investigating what's in front of it. And look at that right there. It pops up and says, oh, I see a code here that will take you to YouTube. Is that what you want to do?
Below you are the tracks of what historically was known as the Southern Railroad of Mississippi. This rail line, which connected Vicksburg to Jackson and via Jackson points elsewhere in the...
Ah,
Pretty cool, huh?
way cool.
I have a QR code on here that you don't need to get out your phone and scan it right now, but just snap a picture of it. And if you have Google Photos, you can scan it later. And this QR code will give you the form that you can sign up for our free newsletters and get your weekly tech tips.
Very cool. I like that a lot.
And if you'd already read about and seen that video for that tip, it means that you are getting our newsletter, because our June newsletter just went out a couple days ago, and that was one of our tips in there. And if you don't have our newsletter, then...
Yeah, well, take a picture.
Put it up so they can take a picture of it.
Oh. Where?
The next slide.
Ah. That's not the next slide.
Well, it was. There.
There it
Right
is.
there.
Oh, okay. Hang on.
He lost it. So that tip was from our June newsletter. And if you want to get out your phone, you could scan this code right now. Or, as you just learned, better yet, take a picture of the screen, and you can scan it later and sign up for our free newsletter.
Using Lens, right?
All right.
Very cool. All right. Well, hi, everyone. I am Jem, and together here with my wife, Chris, we are Geeks on Tour. What am I supposed to say?
I don't know. This is your line.
Do you think your smartphone is smarter than you? And how do you learn about these amazing devices?
Well, we are geeks, also known as propeller heads. That's why we wear these silly hats. And who teach. We are geeks who teach. And we think the best way to learn is on a regular basis in bite-sized pieces. So that's why we come up with a show, and we pick different topics every time and go into a little bit of depth. And all of our content is collected on our website, geeksontour.com.
Very cool. So, Chris, where are we now?
Still home.
Oh.
This is day 80.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Of being stuck at home.
We're okay.
I'm still perfectly comfortable at home, but I am starting to miss being on the road.
We're doing a lot of Zoom meetings, and it's just our way of staying connected with our friends.
But this one was really cool. This is my friend Melinda in Nevada, and I rarely get to talk to her, let alone see her and all her critters. She has I don't know.
It's a llama.
Yeah, that's a llama and a horse. And we also saw our goat and a couple of chickens.
And alpaca. She has a whole herd out there.
She does. She does. And it's just really, it was really fun to get to meet with her over Zoom.
How did that happen?
I've even heard of some other people who have llamas and other farm animals, and they will, for a fee, drop in on your Zoom meeting and give you just a new face to look at.
Oh, cool.
She's not interested. I asked her. She's not interested in that, but it was fun to visit with her.
Yeah, cool.
Ourselves.
All right. Speaking of Zoom meetings, we have a backstage pass using the Zoom technology for our premium members only. And it's right after this show. If you should get a link and an email from Chris or us, but if you can't find that email or whatever, you've lost it, just go to our website, geeksontour.com, and click on member login, scroll down a little bit, and there you'll see that link, right? We want to say hi to all of our...
Look at all these people. This is just so... This really makes it not be so bad to be missing our RV rallies and other venues this summer, because we get to see you all on our Sunday shows.
That's pretty cool.
Hello, Liz, Richard, Jolin, Bill.
Bill
What
and
happened
Karen?
to Olive? What happened to Olive Cousin?
Wow.
Huey.
Yeah, cool.
Debbie Diver with her new car in California. Richard Clarkson. Jerry Bertelson, Luverne. Hope you're feeling better. And anyway, lots of people. So glad to see you here.
Yes, we really love you guys, and we hope that you are all staying safe as can be.
Said the volume is a bit low, and yeah, I kind of thought that too when I.
All right, I can crank that up here.
Okay.
How's that? Is that any better?
Was that any better?
That should be a little better. I got a couple other controls that I can turn up, but that should do it. Or turn up your own computer. Don't bother me with that stuff. All right. So we did that. Hodgepodge today. What do you have, Chris?
Yeah, I just didn't feel like coming up with a whole lesson on something this week, and we enjoy just throwing tips at you. However, this first one is still a little bit long. I have been threatening for years to do a whole show on, there we go. I've been threatening to do a whole show on understanding photo resolution, pixels and all that stuff. And it just seems too overwhelming, but there's one really, really important point. So I did a video on that. Our first tip today then is about understanding photo resolution. And my main reason for this is that people have told me that Google Photos took their full-size photo and made it unusable. And I say, no, it did not. And this is my explanation. Hi, this is Chris Guld with Geeks On Tour, and this tutorial video is about photo quality. That translates into resolution by pixels and file size by megabytes. Why is this important? Because Google Photos asks you to choose between original and high quality, and high quality you get for free. So what does 16 megapixels and compressed file size mean? You need to avoid the mistakes that people make and reduce their photo quality. That's by cropping and by improper downloading or copying. And lastly, I want you to know how to test to see that your photo is good enough to print. So the two measurements for photos are resolution, which is the number of pixels, and file size. So notice whenever you look at the info panel for a picture, you will see resolution measured in pixels and file size measured in megabytes or kilobytes. The pixels mean the little dots, the points of color that make up your picture. This particular picture has 4,032 pixels wide and 3,024 pixels high. If you multiply those, you come up with 12 million pixels, or megapixels. Your camera might have settings. For example, my Samsung Note 9 is capable of taking a 12 megapixel photo, but I could have selected settings to make it less. I'd recommend not doing that. My iPhone 7, same thing, 12 megapixel. Now, if you have a digital SLR camera, you might have a lot more capability, and make sure to check your settings that you're not using a low megapixel setting. So lots of megapixels means high photo quality. Few megapixels means low photo quality, like this one, and this is what's called being pixelated. There are very few pixels, so it looks blurry. Now, file size is different. File size is simply the amount of space your picture takes. So if you think of a file like a suitcase, and these are all the clothes I want to take with me in my suitcase, I have poor packing skills. I would need this bigger suitcase to fit all these clothes. But if I let my husband Jim pack, he would be able to get it into a smaller suitcase. So that is file compression. Google Photos upload size settings. You have your choice between original, which maintains all pixels and does not compress file size, but you may need to pay for more storage then. The high quality is limited to 16 megapixels and it adds some compression, but that gives you unlimited storage for free. This is what we recommend, and I want to show you how the high quality is high quality.
So I'm going to do a demo now. So this photo was taken with an iPhone and it was uploaded in original size. If I click on the info button, it opens the panel and I have a little comment to myself that this was uploaded in original size. So notice it's 12.2 megapixels, 4032 by 3024, and 2.6 megabytes. Now if I go to the next one, this one was uploaded in high quality. Notice that the number of pixels is exactly the same. Since it did not exceed 16 megapixels, Google Photos did not touch the megapixels, but it did pack it better. Instead of the over 2 megabytes, it's at 1.6. But what happens when you download this or share it with somebody else? This is where people have a problem. The correct way to download this picture is to use the Google Photos commands. It's 3 dots and download. And I'm going to put it on my desktop in these sample photos and save. Now when I show you that on my computer, there's the picture on my local C drive, and if I click on it in Windows, I can see the information and notice it is 4032 by 3024 pixels. So it has not changed in quality. However, I see so many people not using the 3-dot download method. Instead, they use the right click and save image as. That is a browser command. All you're getting is the quality of the screen. So if I save that and look on that one, this is only 1184. It has been significantly decreased in quality. Another mistake people make is to right-click and copy image, and then go to wherever they want, for example, an email, and right-click and paste. Once again, that is only getting the resolution from your screen. The person receiving this photo is going to be receiving a low-quality photo, but it has nothing to do with Google Photos, okay? So here in an album in Google Photos, I have 4 copies of this same picture. The first one is original resolution, the second one is the high resolution Google Photos, the third one was done with the right click and save as, and the fourth one was done with the copy and paste. Now here they all look the same, right? But what if you wanted to zoom in on this little area right here? I click the plus and zoom in. And on the original quality one, I can see that that's 2 kayaks with 3 people. On the high quality one, I can also zoom in all the way. But on the lower quality ones, notice this is 1.2 megapixels. If I try to zoom in, that's as far as it goes. I cannot zoom in. Therefore, it is just not enough pixels. The method I use to check if a picture is good enough to print is I open it up and I click the 3 dots and order canvas print. And if it's not good enough, Google Photos will let me know. So this picture was the original quality one. It says that will be fine. Here is the high quality copy, and if I right click order canvas print, it says that'll be fine up to 16 by 20. This copy is the one that was created by copy and paste, and it is only 1.1 megapixel. Let's see if that'll be good enough. Order canvas print. Aha, it says, well, you could print an 8 by 8 with that, but you are going to get a blurry picture if you try an 11 by 14 or 16 by 20. And from experience, I know that Google errs on the side of safety. I have actually printed one that said image may print blurry, and I thought it came out fine. So.
So. All right.
Well, I personally, I'm glad to get that off my chest.
That was really interesting.
Because really, and people would tell me that Google Photos ruined their picture. And it took me quite a while before I noticed a person doing that, right click and save picture rather than using the Google Photos download command. I said, aha, that's what's going wrong. There are other ways too. And you need to make sure you had a high enough resolution picture to start with. But then the high quality of Google Photos is high quality. They just know how to pack it in a tighter package. Okay, one more Google Photos, and then I promise we will talk about something besides Google Photos, because this was a question that somebody wrote in, and that is, can you stabilize a video using Google Photos? And yes, you can. Only on the Android app, though. And I happen to have a perfect example. So you get to Google Photos. And we have a lot of iguanas around here.
Boy, do we ever.
And they are out in full force in this hot and humid and after a lot of rain. So because we take our phones with us when we walk around the neighborhood, I took this video. And notice how it's a little wobbly and jerky. And notice all those stupid iguanas. Okay, so it's you can see what it would be nice if it had been held more still, right? Well, in Google Photos, if I tap on it and tap the edit button, on the end, there's three things you can, well, four actually. This button over here is stabilize. I can also export a frame if there's one frame in here that I want to picture, or I can rotate if it happened to have been taken the wrong way, or I can trim from the beginning or the end. But all I'm going to do is the stabilize.
And that's all you need to do.
You just touch stabilize and you're done. And then, okay. No, that's not the stabilized version yet. Did it do it? And I made sure to do it before, just in case this didn't. All right. And this is the stabilized version.
Much smoother.
Can you see the smoothness there?
Yep.
All right. So that is the answer to somebody who mailed in and said, can you stabilize video? Yes, with the Android app of Google Photos. No, with the iPhone. On the iPhone, you can trim the beginning and the end, but that's it. Since I have been telling you about Android, my next tip. Debbie Diver, wow, so cool. I can rotate my accidentally vertical Carvana video. Yes, absolutely. And right in Google Photos, just piece of cake. So now for something completely different. First of all, I'm talking about the iPhone. And second of all, I'm talking about just basic phone features, not any app. Do some of you have a phone that's getting full? I have learned to buy phones that are 128 gigabyte minimum. And I know some people who have 256 gigabyte. Those phones better not be getting full. But if you have a 32, I think mine is 32.
Yeah, this is an older phone.
Yeah. Then let me go into, so this is an iPhone. I go into settings and under general and iPhone storage, I just want to show you what mine is. So I have 32 gigabytes, and this isn't real full yet, but it's because I'm using this particular tip. Notice most people say, oh, well, I have to get rid of some photos. My photos is that yellow is just a tiny little bit. It's only a little bit being taken up with photos. Why is that? Because Google Photos can delete all the photos from your phone and still access them from the cloud version. So photos is not the problem. This red area is apps. And most people will go through and start removing, deleting, uninstalling apps. But what if you say, oh, I don't want to uninstall it though. I like that app. I don't use it very often, but I like it. Here's the tip. And it's under the iTunes and App Store setting. And offload unused apps. If that's turned on, then as a app goes unused for a length of time, your phone will automatically offload it. I mean, take it off your storage, but leave the icon there. So let me show you. And I do use that. So see this one called Layout? See the little cloud with the down arrow? So it looks to me like the app is still there, but it is not taking up space on my phone, nor is the data for that app taking up space on my phone. But if I want to use that app, I just tap Layout and it downloads. I have to wait maybe a little bit longer than if it hadn't been offloaded. So I think that is an awesome little feature. And I don't think that Android, I have not heard of any Android feature like that.
Pretty cool. Very nice. What's your next one?
What's my next one? My next one, I'm going to the computer.
Okay.
For Blogger tables. For those of you who have learned how to create a blog from us, and I hope there's a bunch of you, we love Blogger. In fact, I know there's one because Cool Judy, who was our blog example a few weeks ago, is on. So I go to Blogger, and the problem, people say, have always asked me, how do you get two pictures side by side? And it's not easy. I have decided to not even try. I like my pictures to be big, so in my blog, my pictures are all just full size and they take up the whole size of the blog. But some people really want two side by side, and the way to do it in other applications is with a table. Blogger has never had tables until now. So I've already done a test, but I will show you that. So testing tables and photo alignment. This is the new Blogger. And if you're not using this, I recommend you do. And we have a video on our website on how to get to the new Blogger if you don't know how. And now up in the toolbar, looky here, there is an icon for table. So I'm just going to make some space here and say I want to make a table. Click the table and insert table. Now it gives me 4 columns by 2 rows. I only want 2 columns. I just want to be able to put 2 pictures in there side by side. So I still, with my cursor in the top row, I click on the table tool and delete row. And with my cursor in the 3rd column, I click the table and delete column. And then in the last column, table, delete column. Now I'll go get a picture. I go and I can get my pictures straight from my Google Photos because this is Google. Oh, looky there. That's a familiar one. So I'll insert that picture. but now I want it in that cell. So I'll click on it and I'll Control X. I'll click in the cell and Control V. Now let's see if I can, you should be able to just click in the cell and bring a photo in there, but I've had trouble with that. I'm going to try it this time. So I go get photos, and I'll find another photo. How about that one? Ah, it worked. Okay, so you see, because I made a table and I put the photo in one cell and put another photo in another cell, they are going to be side by side when I update and then view that post. All right. So if you're a Blogger user, this is pretty exciting. However, it's not as it still doesn't allow complete flexibility. So in this test post, I put text on one column and a picture on the other column, etc., etc. I can left align, but if you really want control, what I do is do it in Google Slides or PowerPoint and make whatever you want, and then do a screenshot and put the screenshot in here. So, but that tip was there are now tables in Blogger if you're using the new Blogger. All right, where are we? Any questions?
No, there are some nice comments, though.
Oh, thank you, Joel. Love the compression explanation, a frequently misunderstood point. Yeah. I think it was when I came up with that analogy of the suitcase that I decided, okay, it's time to do it.
And we'd like to welcome and thank Michael Daniels. And we were his guests, actually.
Yeah, we
Chris
were
was his guest. I just happened to stop by later on.
Yeah,
She's
so
good that way.
If you want to know more about sharing with Google Photos, look up Michael Daniels' channel. I was there last Wednesday.
Great.
Okay, I think we're right on time. And I'm sticking with the computer for another minute. We are on number 5, learn to use Zoom. And I just want to make sure everybody realizes that we did create a whole course on Zoom, and we've decided to make it free. So I want to show you how you find it. It is at geekswhoteach.com. So this is different. Instead of Geeks on Tour, it's geekswhoteach.com. Why? Because it's a course, and I'm just trying this. I'm not sure if it's going to stick around or not, but geekswhoteach.com is based on a platform called Thinkific. So it's a whole different website. So you have to make a new login. If you choose to do this, you need to have a new login. You could use the same username and password as you do on Geeks on Tour, but it's not the Geeks on Tour. So here is the Zoom. It is free. It has 13 lessons. Let's click on it. And then scroll down and you can see the whole outline. What is Zoom? Joining your first Zoom meeting, using the controls, getting help, sign up for a Zoom account. And I, of course, have review questions.
That's what she does.
How to host a meeting, how to schedule a meeting, some discussion on privacy and security, and a bonus lesson for those who help others with Zoom. This was a really cool tip for me, to share your screen and have it include the Zoom controls. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, Debbie says your free course resulted in our skip. That's the Escapees Resort. being able to stay connected and have meetings, happy hours, and even exercise classes. I think that's excessive, but the other stuff's pretty cool. All right.
And along those same lines, I'm also starting to do something new, which is do live classes on Zoom. Not exercise classes, no, but Google Photos classes, where I'm limiting it to 12 people, and at $30 per person, it's a 2-hour class using Zoom. So I'm going to demonstrate, and we'll have conversations, and I'm even going to give people exercises to do. And the first one I'm doing, I'm calling Google Photos Workflow. So because Google Photos is different, I really think that understanding the new workflow, you don't do the same old thing you always did. So Google Photos Workflow, and to find out more, the link is, now this is geeksontour.com, and then workshops. So geeksontour.com/workshops. And here, so far I've scheduled 2. One for this coming Wednesday afternoon, and you would click register here to sign up for that one. And another one for an evening on Tuesday, June 23, and register there. And as I say, I am limiting it to 12 attendees, but it's nowhere near full yet. So, hope to see some of you
and
there.
Where else could you get a classroom live with a Google Photos product expert?
Yep.
Sign up.
Yep. I think it's a really good deal. But for me, it's something I really want. I miss teaching people face to face. So that's how we're going to set it up.
What you got?
All right.
Me.
Your Aura Ring. How many of you have a Fitbit or an Apple Watch or an Android Watch, some way of tracking your activity? Well, Jim has something else.
I have this ring. It is an activity tracker. It's called Aura, O-U-R-A, and I did an article on it in our latest newsletter. It is just an amazing device. It's waterproof, so I can wear it in the shower, in the hot tub. Supposedly I could go diving with it. I don't think I'll do that. But it has sensors on the inside of it. Can you see that? Yeah. Sensors, infrared emitters and detectors. It has an accelerometer. It doesn't have GPS. It doesn't have any notifications or anything for it, but it is really, really cool. There's an app on my phone that I can that it talks to using Bluetooth, and it's pretty amazing. And it tells me every day what's going on with it, and it tracks my sleep and my rest and my readiness for tomorrow activity. So it works a lot like a Fitbit in that case. It gets all of my steps, but it's always on my finger, so I don't have to put it on, take it off, do that kind of stuff.
Well, you do still have to charge it, right?
I do have to charge it. Yeah, it comes with a custom charger. One of the neat things when Chris ordered it for me, they send you this sizing kit. And they're just plastic rings in there, and you just find one that fits your finger that you want to put it on. And then when you decide which finger you want, they say the ring finger is good, the first finger is pretty good too. Because the sensors down here are close to the skin. There's veins and arteries in your finger, and it can track your pulse and 250 times a second.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a lot more accurate than something on your wrist.
Temperature,
right?
And I even have signed up for a study by the University of California, San Francisco. It has to do with the COVID stuff, and you answer a little questionnaire, and they put you in there, and you can share the information from your ring. So temperature and heart rate and rest and that kind of thing. So they're trying to see if they can use devices like this, or even specifically this one, for a heads up if you're getting sick, if your temperature is rising, if your other things aren't happening right. It can be really advantageous in that case. So far, so good. It's about $350.
Yeah, it is not a cheap thing.
Right. But you think about it, it's less than $1 a day if you have it on for a year. And the battery lasts almost a week. And you just pop it on the charger. If you don't like the Bluetooth being on all the time, you can put it in airplane mode. It'll store 6 weeks of data somewhere in here, some memory, and a battery. And it's just pretty cool. And this technology is just crazy. I love it.
So Joanne asked, how is it different? Well, it's just a fitness tracker.
Right.
Just an activity tracker for sleep and activity. It does not do phone calls or reminders or anything like that, like an Apple Watch would. Right. But it's on for people who don't want to wear something on their wrist, it's cool. And Debbie asked, what about for the pool? I think you'd feel perfectly comfortable wearing it in the pool.
Absolutely fine in the pool. I wear it in the hot tub all the time.
So so then you would get your activity as you're swimming.
Right.
You want to get credit for everything,
Absolutely. Right? Up and down the stairs even, That's great. Because it's always on there, it even gets those small steps.
And I did see that Amazon is making a ring.
Yeah, but it's more of a notifier ring, or and you can ask. It's like one of the Echo devices from Amazon. It has a little push button on it, so you can trigger your app or your smart speaker device. I don't want to say her name right now, otherwise everybody's going to go, what? You know what I mean?
And I read a book by Peter Diamandis. If you haven't heard of him, and if you're into technology and futurism stuff, and it's well written too. So Peter Diamandis is his name. The name of the book is The Future is Faster Than You Think. And I found it to be a very engaging book, and it just fills me with so much hope for how technology can fix so many of our problems. Maybe even the racism problem. Not technology certainly can't fix that. But don't you wonder if we had all had phones with us capable of videotaping at any given time when we were back in the 60s?
Pretty amazing.
I wonder if things would be different now. So anyway.
Things are accelerating, and that's what that book by Peter Diamandis is all about.
We obviously are tech junkies, so that's a good book if you are too. All right, I think I'm going to do just one more.
All right.
And then if there's, I just put on a whole list of Hodgepodge here. We'll continue backstage for those who join us there. But I want to do one more one more general phone thing. And I will use the iPhone, although this works with both iPhone and Android. And that is swipe typing. And for the swipe typing has always been with us with the Android. From the very first Android, you could swipe your finger across the keys on the keyboard. It has only been on the Apple, I don't know, it's still been a while, with iOS 13, I think. Anyway, I want to show it to you. So first, if you say, what are you talking about? You do need to have a setting turned on. So in your settings, under General and Keyboard, it's Slide to Type. That's what they call it, Slide to Type. So if that's off, then you can't do what I'm about to show you. And if it's on, you can. So I'm going to go to Notes and just start a new note, and I'm going to type Mary Had a Little Lamb. So instead of tap, 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 or thumbs, I hold down and MaryHadalitle. And I even learned something. I used to teach how do you do the double T, and I said you had to kind of scribble over the T. Well, no, because it's checking every possible word that you are skimming across against a dictionary. So I just go Litle, and it figures out that it's TT. Lamb whose fleece was white as snow. It takes some practice, but oh, God, I love it. I can go so fast with this. And I also don't have to know exactly how to spell something. If I'm close, it will usually figure it out. Now, if I do have to type something that's not in the dictionary, like Geeks On Tour, you can still go one character at a time, no problem. All right. So that is, I call it swipe typing because the very first app that allowed it was called Swipe. But you don't need that anymore. It's built into the iPhone, it's built into Android, and if you want to go one better, get the Gboard, the Google keyboard, and you can do even more. All right. I think they've had enough.
Okay, a couple of people are asking about the date for that first class.
Did I say it wrong?
I don't know.
June 10th is this coming Wednesday, right? What's the date today? 7?
Today's
8,
the
9,
7th.
10. Yeah, June 10.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah?
It says June 2. Yep, you're right. That's wrong.
Wait.
It says June 2. I don't know where I did that. It's June 10.
Okay. So Chris has some work to do.
I will fix it right now. Hey, it's the web, right? That's what it's for.
Right.
June 10. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. She'll fix that. I put the link in the chat, or not the link, but the author in the book. I think I spelled it right. Diamandis? Is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
The future is faster than you think. And okay. So have you figured out how many words per minute you are doing using your swipe?
Good question.
She's pretty quick with it. I'm okay, but she is.
Good question. No, I don't know.
She does more stuff than I do. That's as it should be too, right?
Yeah.
So, and another Bill and Karen said, can the two of them do the class together?
Oh, sure. As long as you only ask one person's worth of questions. And you are on the same connection, one connection.
Right.
Okay. And Debbie says she just registered for June 23. Can she change to June 10? Just shoot me an email and I'll take care of it.
Out. And Tony seems to think that you're gonna chip me, microchip me. She already has the GPS. I share my map location with her, so she knows where I am. I don't want her buzzing me though. Anyway, cool. So
Joanne asked what we'll be covering in the class, and if you follow the link to register, it has a more full description.
Yeah, check that out.
Before you actually click the I want to register, you can read the description.
Okay. All right. So sign up for our newsletters, subscribe to the channel, become a premium member, and buy Mrs. Geek's Guide to Google Photos. But the new one's coming out soon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you probably should wait.
Yeah, just a reminder for the Backstage Pass. It's an online Zoom meeting for our premium members. If you're a premium member, get the link from geeksontour.com if you didn't get the email, and we'll see you there. All right.
And Jim asks, what's the status of my new edition? I'm still working on it.
But she is working on it.
I am working on it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's going well. It's going well. But as soon as I finish, then it has to go through editing. So it's still going to be a while, probably late July.
Yeah. Okay. Well, time for quiz.
You know.
Did you learn something? Google Photos recommended photo size is A, compressed, B, high quality, or C, original.
High quality.
On an iPhone, you can free up space by removing apps without actually deleting them. It's called hide, offload, remove, or uninstall.
B, offload apps.
Geeks on Tour offers a free course on using Zoom meetings. Find it at geekswhoteach.com. True or false, you can use the same login as your membership at Geeks on Tour.
False. You have to create a new login. It is a separate website.
Now, you can use the same username and password there, but it is a separate website. So Chris is also now teaching Google Photos workshops using Zoom for a maximum of 12 people. See more info, geeksontour.com/workshops. And how much is that? Is it $120? Is it $75? Is it $60? Or $30?
D, $30.
True or false? Swipe typing can only be done on Android devices.
False. It's built into the iPhones now.
Okay.
Has been for a couple of iOS numbers.
A while. Okay. So what's the web page that lists all of our YouTube shows?
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is YouTube show.
All right. And the web page that lists all of our recent newsletters.
Geeksontour.com, and the menu item is blogs and news.
And why do people pay $58 a year to join Geeks on Tour?
Well, we have even more free courses if you are a member, and you get to ask us questions on our Q&A page. There's hundreds of show me videos. You get the written notes to these shows. You get the backstage pass. Phew.
That's a lot.
And a lot of people become a member just to help support us, and we thank you all so much.
All right, next time. Are we going to have a live show?
Next week?
I think we should.
I seem to be getting lazier these days.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but the following week is Father's Day, and I don't work on Father's Day.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well, stay tuned. You know that I always put a little yellow sticky note at the top of our website as to whether or not we're going to do a live show, and then I also do send out an email the day before. So
Yeah. But if you have an idea for a show that you'd like to see, something that we haven't covered, or maybe something you would like to see repeated, things change all the time, don't they? Just leave a comment on the YouTube video here or on our webpage, the comments. If you're a member, you can also leave those in our Q&A forum, right? Okay, so that's it for this week. I'm Jim.
I'm Chris.
And we're
Geeks on Tour.
What does this button do?
Who are not touring these days.
No, we're just touring upstairs and downstairs and the kitchen. I'm spending a lot of time in the kitchen.
Ah, and I'm glad he is.
So far, so good. We'll see you next time.
And we'll see our members backstage in just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes.